Our topic today is cloud printing on the Power Platform via PrintNode, Printix, and Microsoft Universal Print. So first, let's discuss a little bit about the Power Platform and DocumentsCorePack printing. What these things kind of do, and what we're trying to accomplish here, is to allow you to kind of use DocumentsCorePack and use the DocumentsCorePack connector to basically print any generated document any document that you generate with DocumentsCorePack, whether that be through PowerAutomate or PowerApps using that DocumentsCorePack connector, or through Dynamics 365 using basically the printer option in the DocumentsCorePack dialog, which you can see here below. Some of our printer configuration options that we have here. Today, we're basically going to be discussing our cloud print providers. But the other thing that I do want you to be aware of is that we do have some out-of-the-box options for DocumentsCorePack printing to basically kind of expose your local printers so that you can use them. There's two different ones. There's the DocumentsCorePack print service, which basically is used kind of for network or shared printers and is typically for high volume pieces, or the DCP print application. It's basically for non-shared or personal printers. The thing is, this is something that we've gone over before in another webinar, so this is something that I would encourage you to go back if you're looking for, if you've never printed before with DocumentsCorePack or you're looking to print with DocumentsCorePack. It's definitely something, along with this webinar, that you should kind of go back and review. And when you get the slide, you'll have a link to it that you can use and kind of go back and review that. But yeah, there is some configuration that you have to do on your end, and the administration and everything like that is on your end. So yeah, so it's basically, it's definitely worth a watch. Let's talk about our new cloud print integrations. We have 3 new ones. As everyone well knows, that Google Cloud Printing has gone away. That was pretty much the only cloud printer that we supported for a good long time, and that went away at I believe the beginning of this year. But let's talk a little bit about the 3 different options that you have, and I just want to share some insights and information that I had if you're kind of looking for one of these. So first off, we're going to be talking about PrintNode. PrintNode is they're pretty simple. They all kind of follow the same steps. Basically, you're just setting up an account. This is fee-based. You'll be downloading the software and installing it, and basically selecting your printer and run a test. One of the things that I was impressed with PrintNode was the fact that the setup basically took me about 5 minutes. I got on the website, I put everything together. It just basically asked me a few questions, and then I was selecting my printer and running test prints in PrintNode, and then test prints with DocumentsCorePack within 5 minutes. So it's pretty impressive. It's a web-based administration, and one of the nice things about it is it's kind of bare bones, so it's really simple and easy to use. The next one would be Printix. Again, it's just to set this up. You basically go in, you'll set up the account, download the software and install it, select your printer, and then again run a test. Printix does have a few more options than PrintNode does, and it also comes with some analytics. It also is web-based administration. The setup was a little bit more involved, I found, but one of the nice things about Printix that I found was they have really good documentation that kind of walks you through step by step exactly what you want to do, to set this up and get this going. So that was really nice. We all as IT people really appreciate good documentation, and Printix does have it. But like I said, a little bit more of an involved setup. The last one is Microsoft Universal Print, and the big takeaway from this, as you can see already that I have up there, is you might already have this and just you didn't know it. Okay, because basically it's included in some different in a lot of the different Office 365 plans. So what we'd encourage you to do is, if you're kind of looking at these, take a look at Microsoft Universal Print. Check your licensing details, see what it comes with, because again, you might already have this and not know it. Again, it's just There is some setup involved. There's a few things involved that you wouldn't have to do with these, that you would have to do instead of these other ones. Excuse me. But basically, it's almost the same. You're basically going to set this up, download and install the software. The one thing about it is there is a PowerShell script that you have to execute, and that will enable the connector to basically be seen and be used. Then you'll select your printer and run a test on it. Again, like I said, I do want to say that this, out of all of them, required like the most preparation and wasn't really intuitive, even though Microsoft does have very good documentation on this. It was, out of all of them, the most difficult one, and will take you some time. There's a lot of research and a lot of going back and forth between different web pages that I had to do, and then also get some help from some of my colleagues to help get this kind of set up. So again, these are the three ones that we are providing that are new ones. And so I just take some time and look at all the options and weigh out which one's best for you. So today in our demo, basically what we're going to do is we're going to go over the printer setup and configuration options via the DocumentsCorePack service portal. I'm not going to go into setting up each individual one. If you look down here, we do have helpful resources on how to get those set up. And again, very good documentation and just a super ease of setup here. So really easy to do. Next, we're going to be showing you printing from the DocumentsCorePack dialog. It's relatively straightforward. And last, what printing documents from a flow would kind of look like. Want to go a little bit into that. So first, let's go ahead and I'm going to come over here to my demo system to just kind of get into it. And what I've kind of skipped over a few things, but what I'm on here is just basically my service administration. In order to set up the printer for it, basically what I need to do is just select the service that I'm going to be using to print. Right down here, you'll see a little printer. That's your cloud, to configure your cloud printing here. Just go ahead and click on that. What it does is it just reads the information out and then shows me my cloud printer setups so far. So in order to do this, basically to add a new cloud print, I just come down here, click on the plus, and then I'm going to give this a printing name, So I'll just call this particular one here. And then from here, what I'll do is I'll select my different types. Now for each one, you're going to need either a set of credentials, for universal print, you don't basically need anything. You just need your Microsoft login, right? And then for PrintNode, you need an API key. Since I'm setting this up for PrintNode, I need to get an API key for it. That's relatively easy to do for PrintNode. I'll just come over to the PrintNode website here. Up here, there's my API keys. To get an API key, I actually have to enter in my password here. And then I have my API key that I'll just grab, copy, come back over, insert my API key here, and then say get available printers. So then what we do is we just basically reach out to the PrintNode service, and then all my printers that I have set up here on this machine are available to me. So let's say, for example, I want to set up this particular printer. This is the one that's going to be used for this PrintNode 2 configuration. I'll just select it. Now below here, you'll see that I have a few options here. Basically what it does is it automatically selects my default options, but again, I can change those. Let's say that I want to have this in color. I can switch all this around, right? So you can select any of these options and change them, or just use the defaults. From there, here I can just kick out a test page real quick, show that it's working, and when I'm done, I'll save the configuration. So just to kind of show you here, this is the one that I've already configured. What I'm going to do today here is, instead of using an actual printer where I would have to turn on a camera and we'd have to wait for the printer to print and do that, I'm just going to use the Microsoft Print to PDF just to kind of hold that, to demo it so that you see it. So yeah, that basically is the configuration for these. It's really straightforward and pretty simple. Once I have those set up, then they are available to me in Dynamics through the DocumentsCorePack dialog, which I'll show right now. So let's say, for example, here, I got a quick meeting. I need to print out a quick account overview for this particular account. Just come in, I'll select my template here, and then do this as a PDF, and then I'll just use my print document option here, and then use my configured PrintNode printer here, the one that I configured here, my cloud printer. Once I'm done with that, I'll go ahead and say next. Right, document is being generated right now, pulling all that information into that template, and just takes a couple seconds, spits out my document. I can review it here, I can edit it here, but what's important here is once I click finish, that's when the job will be sent to the cloud printer. So I'll click finish and just wait for a few seconds for it to send that up to the cloud, and then I get it printed out here. So here, let's just use this one, save it, and then if I open it up, this would be the document that would come out on the printer. So you can see here that, yeah, pretty easy, pretty straightforward, right? So it's just clicking those options, setting up those options. Again, that's also something that you could use in a one-click action to kind of speed the process along. So the next piece that we want to go over today is flows. Now, we did a webinar a couple months back talking about scheduling and flow. And in this webinar, what we did was we created a flow that was going to run every 7 days that basically found all invoices that were 30 days overdue. Okay. And in that situation, what we did was we took those, generated a basically the invoice again, the letter that we were going to, the email body, basically created a new email record and attached both these to that and emailed it. Okay. Situation kind of came up and we were kind of talking about this is what if we have, say, for example, users, like, so if I go back into Dynamics here and I go to my invoices here, what if we have users here that, you know, if I look in his details, his preferred contact method is mail. So he kind of wants a hard copy of that, right? So what we wanted to do here was just to kind of show you and kind of build on what we've kind of built before, is to show you like the different things you can do. So what I'm going to do here, what I've added to this flow is I've gone and from the contacts, I've pulled that value of what the contact method is. So I've pulled all this information in, and what I'm interested in is the contact method. That allows me to create this condition. Before it was just the customer is equal to a contact. So here I'm looking at their preferred method of contact is equal to 2. Okay, so that doesn't make a lot of sense, but basically behind the scenes here, if you look at this, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's just the different values here that are assigned to it on the back end, and then email is basically like the friendly name. So what I'm doing here, you could put email in there, but you know, I mean, I always prefer putting these values in. Very easy to find these if you use Level Up, or you know, you can go in and you can actually look at the field in Dynamics and just find these values. So basically, if their preferred contact method is equal to email, then what I want to do is this email that I've created, I want to go ahead and send that. All right, simple enough. If it's anything else right now, of course, you know, basically what I want to do is I want to go ahead and print that file to send it to them. So how do I do that? Basically what we have is we have this this print file for our connector. It's just the action there. It's really easy to kind of set up, and I'm just going to go ahead. This is for the actual invoice here. So I want to go ahead and create one for that document body so that I have both. So I have a letter, I have the invoice, stuff that in an envelope and send it to them. So I'm just going to go ahead and add an action. It's for the DocumentsCorePack connector. Just find that and find my printing action. Right. So here I'm basically just going to print a file. The nice part about this print file connector, this print file action, is actually, you not only can use it to print generated DocumentsCorePack documents, but you can use it to basically print anything. So here, the first thing I need to do is the document in base 64. So I want to look here. So down here, I'm looking for the email body here. So I'm looking for the document base 64 encoded. I'll throw that in there. The file name. Just give it, search through these. Come down here to, this is from my email body, so it's going to give me the file name. And then my DCP printer name. Just like in Dynamics, in the dialog, I'm able to get a list of my printers and select my cloud printing service there. Okay, so simple enough to put that in there, really easy. So now what should happen, I'll go ahead and save this. And let's run a quick test. Now this does take a couple seconds. So what's basically going to happen, what I'm going to expect here is that if I come back to my invoices, do that. If I come back to my invoices, basically these two overdue invoices, it's the same contact, and I know that they're, I know that I want emails. This particular one does not want an email, so I should get a print. So let's go ahead and kind of move over to the flow and just kind of watch it kind of run through here. So it's been going for about 34 seconds now. It usually takes a minute or so to kind of get through. But again, it's relatively fast, and this is going to be something that is just going to be, running on the back end for you. There's a lot of things that you can kind of do with this, and hopefully this simple example just kind of gives you a little bit of inspiration to get in there and try these things. So there we go. So I've received the first email here. I'm just waiting for this to kind of populate. I'm just kind of looking through. Interesting. So we're waiting for this to go, and any minute now I should get these little pop-ups here that will tell me that my document has been printed. Take a look here. Here. Watch these things kind of go through. Oh, I had an issue. It's really strange. Let me just take a quick look here at what happened. It's like we had an issue with the send email piece. So this is one of my favorite things that always happens, as you do these demos and everything like that. Once it comes down to the actual demo itself, it kind of messes up on you. Anyway, but basically you get the gist of it. Let me see here. Let's see. It's like my expression kind of.
No, it's the hey Clint.
Yeah, hey, what's up?
It's the send emails tab that failed. If you click on that one.
Yeah.
If you go a little further down.
Yeah.
There you go. contact with ID. Looks like this. It referenced the contact. So the contact you said is probably the recipient of the email.
No, I see. Yeah. Let me just.
But it's only one of the 3 failed. So you should have received one email, right? And it also should have printed, if I see it correctly.
Yeah, I didn't. It skipped that part. It skipped the print. So.
Did it? Can you go to the next failed one?
Yeah, it did. That was actually the print, because I have the 2 emails here. So basically, what's really, really strange here, and this is why it failed, is that it says that now my condition.
Yeah, it just states that
I think I know what happened here. With me messing around in this, it switched over to mail. So I thought that was a little bit strange. So let's
I think John also got
it. yeah.
I got quiet again.
Okay, thanks. So we'll run this again. That was good. Lesson learned is that when you're doing a demo, don't go in and flip this all around. So, because basically, as we can see in here, if we come back to here, one of the things in the failure here, it says type contact is marked as non-emailable. So big hint there. So I'll remember this for the next webinar, is don't flip those around. So that's really, I'm glad I learned something from that. So let's think done here. All right. Let's take a look here now. There we go. There's my first email. Nice. Good eyes, John. So we'll just sit here and wait for this. I've got my first email. I've got my second email. And now I should get the pop-ups because the thing is correct. Again, this is one of those things where test, right? And also you do want to put a lot of checks and everything like that into your flows, right? Because things like that can happen. So it's always good to kind of like back that up. Maybe also checking if they're allowed to be emailed or not, or something along those lines. So let's see here. Let's call this one. This is the invoice. That should be the first one that I get. And then the second one is the letter. So save. So let's kind of open those up and take a look at them real quick. Oops. So I have my invoice that would basically be then printed off, and also the letter again, which would again be printed off. So yeah, easy to do, relatively easy to set up, and yeah, I really enjoy working with these flows. It's really neat. Sometimes frustrating, as you can see, but it just takes a little bit of time to kind of put it together. So again, we'll include this in with the webinar and with the slides. So last but not least here, I want to thank everybody for joining today. I really appreciate you joining. We really enjoy putting these on. Again, stay safe. We thought we were at the end. We're not. Everybody stay safe. Continue to wear your mask if you, that would be a good thing.